Hi everyone, this is Sharon from Angelics-Speak.com. Welcome to the channel. Let's start. Greetings everyone, this is Michael. I welcome you, as do we all, with much love. In the United States right now, where many of you are from, there is tremendous turbulence. Riots in your larger cities, demonstrations over the very unfortunate and cruel death of an African American gentleman. Today, we would like to speak about respect. As you walk on this earth, every particle of your earth pulsates with divine light. Every being, sentient or insentient, has consciousness. Yes, even a rock is conscious. It is a more dense consciousness than most of you are able to access, but it truly is conscious. So we ask each of you to always reside in a space of respect and love for every particle, every being on your earth. Everything is equal, from a pile of animal dung to the highest being, because all of them pulsate with divine light. Now, most of you who are watching this already know this. However, this knowledge must go so deeply into your being that it is an unconscious, automatic response. There is no thought involved as you walk on the earth. You simply are conscious and unconsciously aware of the divinity that pulsates everywhere. So you may ask, as beings that truly are on a spiritual path and looking for higher understanding, how can you best help calm the turbulence on your planet? The answer is to embody this love, this highest state, so that it permeates all around you and pulsates for miles from your being. If enough of you are embodying a very high state of consciousness, this will affect your neighborhood, neighboring cities, and your world. So in order to assist your planet to lift the awareness universally, you must first lift your own. Many of you identify as light workers and are working to uplift the planet. This is very good. If you are doing this, it's part of your soul lesson. However, the highest gift you can give to your planet is to first elevate your own consciousness. When you are in a high enough pure state, purifying the world around you becomes effortless. There's no need to focus on sending light. You embody light, and it naturally flows through you to everyone around you. This is not to say that you shouldn't send love, light, and blessings. Of course you should. But even more powerful than that is sending it from a very pure state of awareness. This is why we encourage each of you to meditate in whatever form you are comfortable with. So focus. Focus your awareness on the divinity within your own being. As you touch the divinity within, then you will begin to experience the divinity around you. The gentleman who was killed in the United States offered his life as a gift to all of humanity so that you all could become more aware and conscious of thoughts of inequality within. All of you have them. You may not be overtly prejudiced against a particular class or color or sex of individual, but certainly you have prejudice. When you judge something higher or lower, that causes divisiveness. When you see yourself as better than, or your beliefs as better than someone else's, that's prejudice. It's judgment. And that, my friends, is from duality. That is all part of the limitation of your ego structure. And the purpose in a spiritual path is to go beyond that veil of ego. There are no divisions. There is no duality. Certainly, in your experience of being in a physical form, there are vast differences in appearance, in actions, but they all emanate from the same source. There is no higher, no lower. They all pulsate with consciousness. This doesn't mean you blindly act as though everything is the same and place yourself in danger. You act appropriate to the situation, but you drop your sense of duality. This is how you go beyond divisiveness. And to do that, you have to learn to move your awareness beyond the constrictions of your ego. The ego says, I am this, I am that. I am better than, I'm worse than. I am so intelligent, I'm stupid. So many definitions of self. When you identify with those thoughts that make divisions, you contract your awareness. And you have many, many opportunities to work on this right now, all over the world. Your governments are pushing buttons everywhere. Some people love your governments, some people despise them. And all people are sitting in judgment of the other. Because of the tremendous light that is pouring through right now, all of this divisiveness is being held up vividly for each of you to see. How am I judging another? How am I declaring that is terrible? That's wonderful. This is good. This is bad. Remember, you still flow with the impulses of pure light. When you drop the sense of divisiveness and ego, you allow more light to flow through you, which will then guide you to act in a perfect way. But when you come from a place of ego, you block that higher flow of light. When you sit in judgment of yourself or another, you contract. When you sit in judgment of yourself or another, you contract. Because you're coming from a place of this contracted ego. When you see it all as divine, you flow with the light of divine consciousness. To the degree that you release your ego or move beyond your ego with your awareness, you flow from your own higher divine will. The will of pure consciousness guides you to act in the most beautiful way. So each of you begin to become even more aware of when you judge others. When you become angry at someone because of something you perceive they did wrong. When you judge yourself, put yourself down. I'm not as good as. That was a stupid thought. All of those things contract your awareness. So this week, begin to really focus on how you're thinking. Witness your thoughts. Don't judge them, but become aware of them. What are the repeated patterns of thought that flow through your mind daily about yourself or about others? How often during the day do you sit in judgment of someone else? And how long do you hold that in your awareness? Remember, the more negatively you think about someone or a situation, the more negative it will be toward you. The more negative it will appear to you. So release your judgments. Now, what do I mean when I say release your judgments? If you tell yourself, no, I can't have that thought. No, I'm not going to think about that. The mind has a very interesting way of dealing with that response, doesn't it? Those thoughts become stronger, more frequent, bigger. So you can't control the mind by telling it no, not until you're in a state that's higher than the mind. Then it works. But until then, if you say no, it will get bigger. So what do? Practice witnessing your thoughts. You can do this from any state of consciousness. Simply watch what's going on in your mind and focus your attention on loving thoughts, on the thoughts that you want to keep, the ones that you feel raise your energy, and simply ignore the ones that feel denser and heavier. Witness your mind. Don't struggle with it, simply witness it. Send it love. It will unfold like a flower when it feels your love. Treat your mind like you would treat a beloved pet. Because in fact, when you took on this form, you took on a contracted mind. So in a way, it is your pet. You will drop that portion of your mind, your ego, your emotions, when you leave this form again, or when your experience of being in this form drops. So if you want a certain thought pattern to diminish, don't struggle with it. Simply focus on the positive that is also flowing through your mind, the things that make you feel wonderful. The I love myself. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is divine. I treat every single particle of this universe with respect. I love the beloved who exists everywhere. Those are uplifting thoughts. So just simply give your attention to them. And the more you give attention to something, the more it increases. The less you give attention to something, after a brief flurry of trying to get your attention, it will diminish. So focus your awareness on beautiful thoughts that include everyone, that send love to everything. That's how you raise your awareness and purify your mind. The reason we encourage each of you to meditate in some form is because when you are meditating, you're learning to become quieter inside. The mind and the ego veil a higher awareness within you. So as they become quieter, you have a much greater opportunity to move beyond them. When your energy becomes high enough, you can move beyond them whether they're busy or not. You simply shift your attention. But in the earlier phases, you need to help quiet the mind and your emotions so that you can begin to experience the incredible beauty that exists within your being, that connection with Source. So learn to meditate. Whatever form you use is fine. If you're already meditating, very good. Do that. If not, you can follow your breath as we have offered as a technique on other videos here. Let's try it now for just a few minutes. Close your eyes. Become very quiet and peaceful inside. Don't struggle. Simply feel that you are beginning to rest within. For those of you that use a mantra, you can do that. For those of you who don't have a method yet, become aware of your breath with your eyes closed. With your awareness, follow your breath as it moves in and as it flows back out. Your breath moves in and there's a brief pause. Then your breath moves out. Continue to do this. If your mind leads you away from your breath, and you become aware of this, Don't struggle with it. Simply shift your awareness back to your breath as it moves in and as it moves out. You can bring your awareness gently back to the room. Wiggle your fingers a little and wiggle your toes. This was just a moment of experiencing meditation. Learn to do this every day and increase the time so that you can begin to touch these beautiful places of union within your own being. Our prayer for all of you is that there be universal love between all beings, sentient and insentient. May everyone bless the earth in all of their actions and feel love for one another and respect. May each of you respect the similarities and the differences among you and revel in the diversity of divine creation. May there be peace everywhere. All of us send each one of you our love and blessings. I am Archangel Michael,